Token Arthur was always curious about new things. One day, while flying over the jungle, he saw a group of animals exchanging goods and services using colorful stones. So he contacted fintech CTOs from fantastic companies all around the world and collaborated with them to learn all about finance. Inspired, Arthur asked Insert CEO Vasil to help start a podcast to share their knowledge with the world. This is what you are watching right now, Fintech CTO Podcast. Enjoy.
So hello everyone. So this is our next episode of Fintech CTO podcast. And today we have our new guest, Pablo Molina.
Pablo Molina is a CTO of Clidrive, with more than 20 years of software development expertise. Being passionate about technology and startups, Pablo made an incredible career being a CTO of such companies as CoverWallet, Callisto, and Just Landed, and succeeded in building the engineering teams and technical solutions for fast-growing businesses.
So Pablo, please introduce yourself.
Hi, Vasil. Thank you. Thank you for having me here as a guest today. So my name is Pablo Molina, sitting in Madrid, Spain right now. I'm right now a CTO at Clidrive. So at Clidrive, we are connecting customers with the financing and then with auto, the three of them. And we are trying to transform that industry. Previous to Clidrive, I was a CTO at CoverWallet, which was an online insurtech. Well, it's a way to buy insurance online for small businesses. So I've been around fintech, let's say, startup ecosystem for the last years. Thank you again. Happy to be here, Basil.
Yeah, Pablo, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And this is a CTO podcast for fintech leaders and builders. And my question here, was it intentional to start your career in fintech, and how did you come to your very first fintech company?
Got it. So it was not intentional. I left college, so when I finished my studies, and then I joined a company, a startup that was just acquired by a big financial company. So the startup was called Clarity, sitting in New York, and they were doing prepaid cards back then, 20 years ago. They were disrupting the credit cards, let's say the cards processing category by launching prepaid. That was, at that time, it was starting. So I just found myself there, and I loved it because fintech is, I think that finance is pure software. So I think that software is what really scales, and I am passionate about it, and that's why I found myself a home on the financial services. Yeah. So not chosen, but
why do you actually like to work on different financial services? Because this new company you have, the previous one was insurance, so the previous one like prepaid cards. So like your current, and you're touching different parts of financial industry. So what is so interesting for you in the financial industry?
So first, let me first reflections that come to mind. One is that, as I said before, it's pure software. What the asset and the product that you place is money or contracts, or records on a system, and that is what really scales. It's what I've been learning on. That's one. Second is that when you look at financial systems, it is not that much challenge of having millions of visits, millions of likes, like in the social media category, or super complex data like you can have from maps. I don't know. I'm just sharing reflections. But what you need to take into account of financial systems is that it's very transactional, and you cannot lose any of those. So your solution needs to be very robust, very reliable, because you cannot drop just a single record of the transaction, and then you will have a customer somewhere that's missing money or missing a contract that was just signed, and that's where the standard is a high standard. Okay, security, compliance, and so on. We're not going to talk about that. It's fun as well, but I think that's what makes it differential. The fact that the one record needs to be there as expected, versus millions of likes that you can just lose 100 of them, and then it won't have such a high impact.
Yeah, great. So look, at our company Insart, we have a mission to work to actually transform the financial industry by working with different fintech sectors. And I personally believe that by that we can help to improve the financial health of individuals and of companies. So, and I like your point about managing transactions and that you need to be very precise doing this. Okay. So,
Right.
So recently you announced that you have joined Clidrive, and before that you were in bigger company, which is Cover Wallet. So what is the difference for yourself? And you have a role of chief technology officer that time and now. So what is the difference for yourself between those two companies on different stages of the development?
Yeah. So there's something that we have in common, which is that the proposal is very innovative, no? Because at Cover Wallet, we were offering commercial insurance for small businesses in the US. That was in the US based online, and that was never a channel back then when we started. So you had to go to the brick and mortar office to buy insurance for yourself if you have a company. Okay. If you look, and that's funny with fintech as well, that the digital adoption is moving very fast, which is also great to be in this space. No? If you're going to do a bank transfer, Vasil, I'm going to ask you now a question. If you're going to do a bank transfer tomorrow and the bank forces you to go to the office downstairs and you cannot do it with your mobile, would you change your bank that day, the day after, or would you just stay in the same bank? If you are forced to go.
So, look, so most likely I will change my bank, but sometimes the security, okay, and stability of the bank can be also a decision-making point whether to switch to other bank or not. So, for example, with the Silicon Valley Bank, which was actually a pretty established bank, by the way, but we have other fintech and neobanks on the market. So I would choose between like stability and risk and usability. Yeah. So if it's easy to use, so maybe for new banks, maybe for some neobanks, it's not the balance. Okay. So maybe they're even less risky than the bigger banks. But anyway, I like your point, and this is something that I did recently when I had to go to a bank branch and do the wire transfer, and then I decided, hey, I need to do something with that. I don't want to. I don't want to go to branches to deal with.
No, it's true. Absolutely. No, it's true that security, of course. I mean, it is a balance. It is a balance of what you find when you choose your bank, no, for a service. And there are more traditional or more, more like never, things are very inherent, no, to the bank, which is security and the trust that you need to have where you have a deposit with your money. That's for sure. But there's something that more and more needs to be native on the bank, which is the digital channel. Okay, how to reach their customers through online and provide the services online. So that's same in Cover Wallet that where I am right now, where we are in Clidrive, we are launching products that are very innovative on this financial space, but and we also launching them natively through the online channel. So look, when you ask me about the different size, well, the difference is massive because when I was at Cover Wallet, my team was almost 300 people in size, and it was spread between Singapore, well, basically started with Spain and New York, where the business was running. But then also we had a team in Singapore, a few guys in Poland. We also had recently launched Colombia. And this is because the market in engineering is saturated, and then we were trying to launch different locations to distribute the talent and then reach more people. So my activities on my working day, were more related to where to place the budget, the investments, where to how the team topology is designed, and then high level defining goals and objectives for each of these teams. But nowadays, I am more acting more often as an individual contributor, in the sense that I'm switching on and off services. I'm working closely to the day-to-day of the engineers, because we are 10 to 15 people. And then but at the same time, in both places, sitting with executives and then making decisions on the strategy of the business. But yeah, I feel it that both things have pros and cons. It's just a matter of when, it is the momentum, my personal momentum in my life, where I make the call to get back to the origins of bootstrapping a company. Usually the momentum is undervalued in terms of how people make decisions, but it's important to acknowledge yourself where you are in terms of your timeline, your life, and also your family, to make a call. Sorry for the long answer, but that is I think that I'm very proud of the what we did in the past, Cover Wallet, but now here I'm very excited what we can do at Clidrive. Yeah.
How big was the team approximately in Cover Wallet?
So when I that was like a month ago or so, 270 people. Out of those,
under you.
Yeah, and then that meant around 40 product managers, product managers, and the rest were engineers that were application developers, front and back end, on full stack. We were using Ruby on Rails and Node.js as our main tech stack, but also Salesforce. We were heavily customizing Salesforce with the Salesforce developers. And then we had a team on a QA team. Data, we had invested a lot on data scientists, data analytics or analytics engineers, and data engineers, and then also SRE people to provide efficiencies and productivity to everyone. And I think that I'm not missing anyone. And then the managerial layer, okay, with me, and then some VPs that were focusing on specific areas, okay, and designers, more important. And product designers, a bunch of product designers as well, a team. Yeah.
Cool. So why actually I ask this question? So
yes,
you were in charge of very well structured engineering organization, okay, and it as you described it was more like a managerial work to do, or to manage, the organization through the different layers of management and leadership, and but also maybe adding some sense of entrepreneurship. Okay, so now you started a new company, and you act more like an entrepreneur. So what was the why did you do this decision? So what was the trigger to do the decisions? So okay, hey, I think I have to move and make my next move and start the new company rather than continue managing the large organization in the previous company. So what was the trigger to make this decision?
Good. So the trigger is that I wanted to feel. So there were two things, basically. There are many, but let me summarize on the two that I think were the most important to make a call. One is that I found myself excited to what I'm doing for the most part of the week, call it. Okay? So that at least 2 or 3 days a week, I go home and then I have a smile on my face, call it, no? And that, talking about fun and talking about work, it's, you can have fun at work, why not? But, the kind of fun I'm talking about, no? So this challenge, intellectual challenge, teamwork, also the fact that the business is moving towards what you're expecting, that the business is moving at the speed that you really want to move. That's also an important thing. Okay, so net that you find yourself doing that kind of activities towards that more often than others that you need to do, because everywhere you need to do paperwork or you need to do whatever, no? And then that's one. I wanted to find net more time on that than in the other, if you can bucket the two. And the second one is people. I also wanted to make sure that when I move somewhere or join another company, that the people that I work with are as good or even better than what I was before. I'm not comparing the two, but I want to, it's these A players want to work with A players, okay? And then I'm talking about this one, the new one that I just joined, because as a founding member, I have a lot of responsibility and decision on who's joining, no? And then that is important to make sure that you fill the space of the office with top talent. And since I am directly responsible of that, and I can really have an influence on that happening, then that's the one that makes the difference as well. So one is for me to be spending the time in those places that I really feel excited on, and that really fulfills my growth. And second is that I make sure that I am surrounded and the rest are with top talent people that we can make a difference. Then those two are important. That said, look, the opportunity in front of us is massive. I think that we're targeting a market that is very large, and we have good investment, we have good resources. We have Pablo Fernandez as an investor that he's really backing up the team with a huge investment, and then Elena, who's leading, is a good friend of mine. So look, at the very end, there were another 4 or 5 things that I didn't mention now that really make the checklist all work. Financial aspect for me also as well, all that stuff. Okay, and also this feeling of taking the risk that some of us have when we become entrepreneurs. And why not? Life, you only live once, no? Kind of feeling. Yeah.
So great answer. So KPI is how many days you have a smile on your face at the end of the day. So yeah. This is really great KPI, I think.
Yeah.
So what about this new venture? So can you tell us, please, what the business model? So what is the main challenge and the market gap that you're trying to fill with this solution, Clidrive?
Thank you for that. So look, what we're trying to do is what we're doing is providing financial credit to customers that want to have that money with their car as a guarantee to that credit, to that loan. Okay, we're not a bank. We're just acting as a mediator, as a kind of a intermediate that is generating the demand on the market. So the challenge, as usual, is customer acquisition and how to make that efficient. So the customer acquisition is high, and for that we need to invest a lot upfront, and we just getting people through the top of the funnel, and then we need to have a very competitive proposal so that people really want to buy our product. The economic momentum right now makes us attractive because there's a lot of people that is looking for that kind of financial help, and also because the interest rates are that high, and then we can take some risk and improve whatever is in the market. Okay, we see demand. We see that it has traction. We see our partners, the banks, that are actually the ones providing the credit and the risk. They want to partner with us. They see that this is a channel that they want us to keep progressing. So that's the business model, no? And then we're using this to finance other things that we have in the pipeline. One very interesting for me when it comes to technology is that we're gonna explore very deep generative AI. Everyone is right now looking what's going on. We want to budget for it and then invest strongly. We're setting up a team, and there are a few use cases where we see that we can place a bet, and yeah, we're going after those because we want to develop solutions for us to in-house for our operating model, but also productize them and then launch them into the market. And again, we've been validating with some potential clients, and they're keen for us. They're keen to work with us.
Can you tell me what does it mean, car mining? Because I was reading this term and was trying to think about and suggesting what actually it can be. But you tell me what is that?
Yes. So this is our presentation to the world. Car mining. What it means is that if you have a car, you have money. So that's the summary. If you have a car, you have an asset that can be valued. In fact, insurance, they do that every day, and you can use that also to get money out of it. That is car mining as a concept.
Does it mean? I mean, does it mean you want to tokenize cars, or what?
Kind of.
What is the mechanics behind that?
So it's not actually tokenizing because it's traditional credit, but it is about car becomes the collateral of your loan when you get one. Yeah. And for that, because of that, you get a better proposal, proposal when it comes to interest rates, when it comes to the length, the period of the loan that you're gonna get, and so on. But that is just one example, okay? The one that is related to car mining. But we have 3 or 4 lines of business that we're launching. But that's probably the one that is relevant to mention, okay? But that's car mining.
Does it mean that you will have the platform for financing the cars and also providing the finance based on the collateral where cars are used as a collateral, and who are actually the actual clients of yourself for this platform?
So
let's recap.
You described it pretty well, because we're launching that platform that connects banks, financial institutions with the car and then the customers. And the customers, they are individuals that consumers that they wanna get some money. We have a lot of people that actually they want to launch entrepreneur, become entrepreneur and then launch a new company, and then they see this a way to finance themselves. People that is just they're gonna have to do something at home, or they want to, I don't know. We see different people that need some money because they need to upfront for whatever studies or anything that they are looking for. But yeah, those are the customers that we see through the door.
So what would be the sales channels that you will use? Will you promote your service through the bank, through the car dealers, through other platforms, or directly to consumer markets? So how would it work?
Yeah, so that's a good question as well, Basil. So mainly direct to consumer, but then also we're partnering eventually with dealers. That is another. We might even we might expose that platform for dealers also, for them to place business through us. Okay, those will be 2 of them, and then there are some others. Banks are the ones that really provide the ending product. We're not looking. Yeah, we're going out with our own brand more than with banks for the very beginning. Okay.
So why would car dealers partner with yourself rather than with insurance and directly banks to get the financing products themselves directly from banks? So why your platform will be beneficial for car dealers?
Yes. So for them, the short answer is that they do the money nowadays with the cars that they sell on a financed agreement, and we're gonna increase the ratio of opportunities that they close financed, and also increase their margin, the growth that they're going to have out of it. So for them, it's going to be also cheaper, more efficient to place those deals through a financed channel, because everything's going to be very integrated, very streamlined, and then they can really do the switch. They can close the deal on a more efficient way. Okay. But mainly it's direct to consumer on us. We're working on that. What I'm sharing about dealers is the vision of it. But as you know, when we start a startup, we're going to be pivoting as we see where we want to place our bets.
So as I understand, you will start from Spain, but you have a great experience working, internationally. And for example, what I as soon as I am in Miami, Florida, and what I observe, so there are lots of Latin American companies entering the US market and having great business here. And I also see different countries in like Latin America, like a very great opportunity. So do you have any plans to go to Spanish-speaking markets going forward? Any plans, strategies?
So we have plans definitely to expand internationally. We're looking to Europe as a first option, but LATAM and US there as well. No? So we'll see whenever we get there, because we're starting conversations with some other countries in Europe, like France or Germany, where we have the partners, we know the market, okay, and we see that the competitor space probably makes us also that there is room for one more player, and then we'll see. We'll decide about the US. Yeah, the US or LATAM. I mean, LATAM is a straightforward call when it comes to language. But yeah, we need to decide. We need to decide whether one or the other, but that's gonna be this year, I would say.
So is there any difference in terms of regulations, whether to go to some country with like very strict regulations or with more lax regulations in regards of finance and making the car as a collateral for a loan?
So there are regulations. It's heavily regulated, of course. We're talking about finance institutions and so on. But we, because of our previous experiences, we know pretty well what kind of activities we are responsible for, what kind of activities we need to partner with others, whether we need a license or not, that we don't, and then what kind of products we can offer, we can tell the story about. So that we have a very good learnings, and also we have an in-house and also external legal advisors that are checking, and reviewing everything that we do, and we are making sure that we are compliant. But at the very end, what we're doing is grabbing online demand, gathering online demand of that product specifically, and then presenting that to a bank that's changing that for a financial agreement. And we do that again by really monitoring what kind of activities we can do, okay, and what we should rely on the bank for, okay. Yeah.
So will you actually do the risk modeling yourself, or will you rely on the bank model?
We rely on the bank model entirely. We rely on the bank model. What we can do is we can knock out on behalf of the bank on certain criteria that we agree on by a written agreement, and then we just reduce the number of leads that we send across, and then there are some of them that we are pretty sure that they're not going to have we cannot place the product. That said, we want to have the vision is to be able to serve as many clients as we can, because those that do not fit for whatever the bank is able to provide, then we'll find other partners or other products that then we can offer. Okay, so we want to be the shop that anyone can find what they look for, even if that means redirecting them to other partners. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do that on behalf for some of them that are very straightforward, and then also partner with the bank on, by using the data that we are gathering, then proposing iterations on the product depending on what we see on the demand and what the bank is offering, because whenever we have enough data, we will be running predictive models in terms of churn or defaulting, and then on that we can, if we get back the data from the bank, then we will partner on that. Okay, and also just to mention on that, we're gonna be leveraging a lot AI as much as we can on those use cases where we see that there is an uplift. Okay, we're gonna do that first for our own operating model, like lead scoring, or just finding the best service in-house for specifically which client is coming through the door, or the presentation and the offering that some clients they see, or everything real-time generated by this generative AI. And also we just deployed recently in-house a tool based on what OpenAI has for our employees, to find to have an assistant, like a knowledge base where they can search anything for their daily work, and then they have an assistant 24/7. No? So I want to mention this because it's gonna become pretty soon very, very strategic, very core for us, and hopefully it gets as big as the main core business. Okay.
So do you use the generative AI like ChatGPT for engineers, or for all the team members?
For all the members. So we have our documentation repo where everyone is able to query it by prompting to a ChatGPT, a very similar interface to ChatGPT, where they can just prompt and then have information out of it. And also we are transcripting calls and then finding insights out of it, or finding mistakes or just improvements suggested by the AI bot as well. No? So, but those are just pilots that we've been able to run on a, as we're learning about it, and then we have a roadmap of things that we want to do, because I think that we can make a difference there. No?
So do you use it for sales and for customer support, actually, if you're saying that you're transcripting the calls?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have any KPIs how to measure the quality without using the generative AI and with using generative AI?
Well, that's a good question. But in our case, I think it's going to be everything about efficiencies. So number of customers serviced by day, by hour, number of customers over number of sales reps that we have in our team, all that stuff. I think that, but it's not about reducing our team, but it's about reducing the team. I mean, our headcount on specific departments, but it is to become less error prone and more efficient, because it's where everyone is reading, like a human assisted by an AI is somewhat that really can do a more precise, but a more also scalable job that we do nowadays. So we're looking into that. That said, engineers are here using Copilot from day one, and product is using it everywhere when they can, generate a template for this and that, or reviewing whatever was spec'd out, all that stuff. Marketing also trying A/B testing in the content that we expose or that we internally we produce them to be reviewed, to be published. So yeah, that is happening already.
So talking about the operational efficiency in financing and of different kind of assets like cars, mortgages, whatever. So we have this process of application, of client's application, yeah, and it can be pretty time consuming. So you could spend like even a couple days waiting for the answer from the bank, whether you are approved or you are not approved. So how would you like to speed up this process? How would you like to optimize this process with the technology that you provide?
Yes. So of course, at the very end, it's about removing the dependency in the bank. No? As much as we can host in-house, not relying on the bank on their side, then the more we have under control to then become more efficient. As an alternative to that is that wherever you connect to in the bank side or to any partner, to be technology based also and not human, so that the response is on a millisecond and not the next working day. And yeah, that's it. There is a start of the partnership as it stands today, and there is a written will as we move on. Both sides will invest on producing that technology, no? And then the reality is that what everyone is doing is that, hey, when there is no API, well, let's scrape this side or the other. No? As long as the partner allows for it, it is a workaround that can do the job. No? So there's no magic as much as the will of the partner to really move, invest on technology, but also move at the speed that we want to move, which eventually won't ever happen, but at least when we become big enough, then we will have more leverage on the negotiation, and then also it will become a strategy for them to really innovate there. No? So I think, I don't know if I gave you the answer that you expected.
Yeah, I think there is no like one true answer, because everyone they have their own solution how to optimize this process. But what I see right now, this is like a challenge for everybody in financing industry to actually to make the cycle shorter for applying and getting the approval, and actually fintechs that are able to solve this problem, okay, and minimize the time for approvals, I think they will win, and actually they are winning the market at the moment. So
That's
hopefully,
right.
yeah, hopefully you are on the right track here. So one more question about talents. So you mentioned that you have a team of like 10 to 15 people right now, and before that you had a bigger organization. And I think in small company, it's even more important who you hire right now rather than in bigger company, because every mistake, okay, they will actually stop you, yeah, and you can be stuck with anything. And if you make a great hire, so it can boost the development of your new venture. So what is the strategy of acquiring new talents that you have right now? Like, are you hiring only local in Spain, or are you hiring across the world? In what countries? Again, taking into account your experience with different time zones, with different countries, with different cultures.
Yeah,
Tell us,
yeah.
please.
Good. That's a great question. So definitely the first comers, they set the culture. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very important, those first hires, because that they will generate a dynamic that the rest will learn first day. No. So what works best is referrals. We have more than, I would say, 60-70% of the people right now with very small comes to referral of others that were already here, starting with me. Okay, so that usually does the job pretty well. Okay, and then when it comes to, as I said before, the momentum, no, if we acknowledge now the momentum is about going remote, it is important at this stage that as much as many people as we have, it's very near. There are many things happening in the office. Okay, so it's important that some of us are here, really listening and learning through hearing things. Okay, and reducing the overhead of communication. But also when it comes to engineers, in order to scale quickly, why not? I mean, you go hybrid on a hybrid mode and then remote, and then that's how we're doing it right now. We have people around Spain. There are two guys that are joining from Poland, so it's fine international because our native language is gonna be English, documentation and speaking most of the times. And then what we're doing is we have an interview process where we have a mindset of whomever joins needs to improve or increase the quality, let's say the seniority level, or the talent, call it, no, the talent level as we see it in the team, no, and then we have that mindset from the very beginning, and we communicate that pretty strongly, so that whenever people is talking to the guys, the candidates to the interview process, we see that that it's intellectually or when it comes to talent, is people that we really want to work with, but also improve what we have in house. And in the last chat that we have, or with the senior guys, I don't know, like Mike, VP of engineering, or myself, or even HR, what we try to look is at the guys, candidates, and then when we share what we're trying to do, at some point in the call, we want to hear excitement. We want to feel that there is excitement, because the starting of the startup is, sometimes as an employee, you really need to be flexible, and there are some times where you really need to work hard, and then you need that extra motivation to get that. Okay, it's funny because 3 years ago, I found myself and many that we were leading or contributing to interview process, saying that by no means we were gonna close an entire recruitment process remotely. That we want to. Everyone we used to say, "Hey, I want to see the guy here in front of us," because the body language, the body language is very important. It's funny how the pandemic blown that away, but from one day to another, and now it is the speed on closing the interview process in terms of days what really makes a difference. Also in the candidate experience, okay, when before interview processes were taking like 1 month long, because you meet every week, you get your car or metro and you go to an office, you don't know anyone, and then you sit there with your suit or whatever and then the next week, see you next week. Now we are able to have a couple of conversations one day, and then the day after, and job done. No? So whether you play that game, or you might find yourself that one candidate that was good, somebody else just hired because they were faster. So yeah, that's the dynamic. And yeah, I hope that answered your question.
So to me, I will tell you that I agree that every hire add up something to the corporate culture. Okay, and actually, the corporate culture to me is a mix of views and beliefs of all the team members we have on board, and it's very important, at the very beginning, to hire the people you actually want to introduce these beliefs and these values to the whole team. And sometimes I find it very challenging whether we have to hire this great engineer, for example, with that great skill set and experience, but whether he fits really or she fits really our corporate culture, whether we want to add him to our team with his or her beliefs and values. And sometimes it's very challenging because you're hesitating. Maybe not. Maybe I need to skip this great engineer because we have different beliefs. So this sometimes very challenging for myself. Okay.
Yeah. That happens,
So,
yeah.
Pablo, one more question. So as soon as you start a new venture, this is a new journey, and when you wake up in the morning, so what is the biggest challenge that bother you right now?
When I wake up in the morning, the bigger challenge is, I think it's speed. Because we have a lot of ideas that we want to execute or we want to validate, and it takes time from having the idea and then see them live, because on one side there are parts of the business that are more mature, but there are others that are very early stage, and then that's where I am trying to work on. That's one, and for that, it's about hiring sometimes or getting the team to move from one place to another, and that is not happening as fast as I would like. That's one. The second one is data, to make decisions on top of data and become keep operating as a data-driven company. It takes an effort. And everyone is on that. But then, we need to keep investing on it. I think that those are the two that it's not that, why not? Challenges, but those are the ones that keep me busy, let's say. But I love those challenges, so going for it.
So great two challenges. So the speed and the need to test many different hypotheses very fast, okay, to iterate. And the second one is data, and the data is crucial for any fintech. So, okay. So Pablo, thank you very much for our today's talk. So it was great to talk with you, and I want to wish you good luck with Clidrive and building the platform that actually will enable car owners in the, I believe, 1.4 billion car owners in the world, to leverage their ownership. So thank you very much, and good luck with this new venture. And for everybody who are watching us, so please put your thoughts below on this video in the comments below, and please like this video and subscribe to our channel. So Pablo, thank you very much.
Thank you, Vasil. Thank you. Much appreciated. Keep connecting.
Thank you. So good luck, and have a great day to everyone. Bye-bye.
Still watching us and have not subscribed yet? Let's fix this. Also, don't forget to like this video and take a look at the other episodes we have. See ya!